Well, this is Baruch Flashman here, your Tikkun Elevator Kollel lift manager. Trying to manage this lift here. Inyan Tisha B'Av, and we're learning in the Shar Kavanos in regards to Tisha B'Av. This is the holy words of the Uri. As we've been doing, we'll read the top, but we're going to do the Pirish Rahut, which is down below. Bir Masha Nagul Lahakel, so let's explain what our custom was to be lenient in terms of the Avelos, our mourning, Tisha B'Av, at Tisha B'Av on the 9th day of Av, La'esa Mincha, at the time of Mincha. So he says, Masha Nagul B'Yom Tisha B'Av, our custom here in regards to Tisha B'Av, on the day, B'Mincha Lomer Pesukim Shal Nachamos. At Mincha time, we should say Pesukim that of comfort. V'gam L'kun V'L'Shavis Ala Sepsalim Lamalo. And also, I'm not sure what this means, to get up and to sit on the benches Lamalo, what that means. Ba'ad Rabba Nira Min Talmud, but the opposite is true, that during the time of the Talmud, I guess he means, we'll see what he means exactly by sit on chairs. I guess he means normally you would be sitting on the ground, so this gives you an opportunity to sit on the chairs after midday. So he said, according to the Bible, le'es erev hatzitzo eish behechol b'yom Tisha B'Av. Really was towards the nighttime, in other words, after Mincha, that the fire really started to get going on Tisha B'Av, the nisra be'es mincha, and it really burnt at the time of Mincha. So therefore it was fit to really be strict about mincha time, yoser mibishachar, more than in the morning. So he said, the Tiv writes the explanation, a minhag hu shabbatisha ba'av mechatzis yom va'elu mekilin, that we become more lenient at that time. Become a minhagi avelos, from many of the minhagim of morning. That now already you could sit on a bench, or you could sit on a chair. And also you say certain pesukim that have with the comfort of comfort. Of the pesukim. This is apparent from the kavanas of the pesukim nachem that we say in the tefillah of nachem, which you say at mincha time. But he says, I'll tell you, this is really a questionable. It should be from midday and onwards. The vela should get worse, get heavier, not lighten up. Zaman Sreif is base of Migdash, because the time that the base of Migdash was destroyed, it began after midday, from Mincha time onwards. And he means Mincha Gedola, for those of you who know the difference. To she, some of the Chashechos, so it's the 9th day, but getting closer or tilting towards night. Hatzitzo bo esa, or this is when the spark really began to kindle. So it became inflamed and it continued to grow. Kol yom kulish and emmer, from that day on, from that moment on, as it said, Oy lanu ki panach hayom, woe to us that the day has turned, ki yinatot slali erev, because this means that the day is inclined towards the shades of the evening, which is the time of darkness, the time of punishment, the time of death. But the fact that we don't do that, though, this could really be understood. B'masha darsha b'gemara al pasuk mizmor la'asef alokim bo goy, on this pasuk, and I'll translate it, that we explained over here in the Gemara. On this pasuk mizmor la'asef, it's a song from Asaf, Elokim boy begoyim, and he says la'asef Elokim, God, bo goyim came in, Gentiles came into your holy place. Vehikshu mizmor, so there's a problem with this mizmor. Kina beboyle should be, instead of mizmor, it should be a kina. Kina is a lament. So the answer like this, at the beginning, to start with. Hischilo ha'oivim laharog as b'nei Yisrael. First, they started murdering us, slaughtering us. Vos chashvo Yisrael shalo yihya chas v'sholem tekuma lebefaltim. And then it appeared like this, that there was no possibility for any of us to be saved at all. Chas v'sholem tekuma lebefaltim. We had fallen so low. V'yachlu chas v'sholem b'cheriv, and they would be completely destroyed by the sword of the ha'oivim of the enemies, of our enemies. But when you saw the fire begin at the time tending towards night, as the day started to darken, shehu zaman mincha, the mincha time, oz amro mizmor, that's when we said the mizmor, v'samkul simcha gedola, and we had in the midst of blood, our own blood, we were able to find a simcha there. Simcha Gedola, great slaughter, and we received a certain amount of, well, he said the kiblu, and we got comfort. If Hashem Yisbarach had not sent Hamas, his anger, on the wood of the base of Megdish and on the stones of the base of Megdish, we would never, the lo choisa tekuna, the sonai Yisrael, there would no be way for us to get up, to be able to reform ourselves. Gamosha Amr Razal, like the rabbi said, al pasuk kalach Hashem es chamaso, that Hashem made an end to his anger. In other words, he focused all of his anger in one place, that is the burning of the base Hamikdash. V'yatzas eish b'tzion, and then this fire went out throughout Sion. V'nimsaki le'es mincha, so it comes out like this, at mincha time, minchas erev shetzitzo eish behechel, and this is the time when the day starts going long, and that's when they're going on, getting darker. That's when the fire starts. Oz Amr Yisrael HaMizmar, that's when the Shah said a song of praise. V'kiblu nechama, and we received a certain amount of comfort al sarasam, on our prayers, that is their prayers, those people were there at that time. Im came hamincha kanizkar hu tov v'nachum, so therefore the concept of bringing some kind of nachama, a comforting, after midday, is really tied together with the idea of the fact that even in the midst of the bloodshed and our slaughter, our own slaughter of all of us, the fire took over, and the slaughter stopped, and we were able to see the nakama, and as a result of that, we were able to see that, well, that's what it is. Now let me see if I can get a better explanation here from the Tiv. Abir Bezelhu, the explanation of this is this. Al pi masha hikshu razal, and this is really according to the kasha that we just mentioned by the rabbis. Al pasuk mizmor la'asif. What is this doing here in the midst of a slaughter? The havile lemei makina, they should say a lamentation. But Tzirtzon, they ask the al yadesha nisraf zabayis, because when the temple started burning, it was actually a comfort to us. Because then Hashem poured out his anger, that is, he focused his anger al eitzim, on the wood, v'ravonim, and on the stones. Below yachlo osam, and they didn't make an end to the Jews. And so therefore this little small, what seems to be a small salvation, turned into a song of joy. So this is understand now, you settled really the understanding of how it is that we have this inyanim of nechama that takes place at mincha time. So this is actually the same place. There was some nechama that happened on the day itself of the destruction. Shadaik bisman sreif is based on Mikdash, because specifically when the base of Mikdash caught fire. The Yisrael. This was a chama for us. We survived. Many more of us survived. Now let's see what we got. A little bit of time here. Let me see. This is going to go very quick, so let's see what it says. Now this, let's see who is saying. Shemadi gam came memorizel tam acher. So this is Rabbi Chaim de Vital, and he says, it seems to my impoverished mind, Sheshimati, that I heard Gam Kein Memorizal, that I also heard the Ari HaKodesh, Tam Acher, in a different context. V'huki oz b'minchas Tisha B'Av, and that answer was because at the time of the mincha of Tisha B'Av, noided HaMashiach HaNikra Menachem. Now, here he says there's two different things going on here, and this is the basis of that idea that the Mashiach is also contained in the Gemara, that the Mashiach will be born on Tisha B'Av. And he says that this could be touched on to the concept that when Hashem focused his anger in a certain place, in other words, on the stones and on the wood, which he said, instead of on the bodies of the Jewish people, which had already been taking place, that the Mashiach, this is also the same action that brings out the Mashiach from the ashes. Knizka b'midras eichel rabsi, that it's over there. O tam linhog b'nechama be'ez tefillas mincha. So there's another reason why we should have this time as a time of an additional amount of comfort, some amount of comfort added into the day. Hu lefi shebe'ez hazaz, but it is because at this time, nolad Mashiach, that's the time the Mashiach was born. Midrash, like we learned in the Mishnah of Alzeh Ano Merehim Nachoma. So therefore, we see that there is going to be a comfort. Shemakayim Honor Geula, that we're standing here for seeing to the redemption that seeing there's going to be a redemption, a Geula, a Sida that is coming. Yiratzon Shetihia Bekara Bimheri Amenu. Amen. Let it should come soon. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kola.